We'll do it live.
No.
We'll do it live.
Fuck it.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it
for us today. I'm
Bill
Stewie Griffin.
O'Reilly.
Thanks
Thanks
for
again for
watching.
watching.
We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
Take it away.
I just really had to block Nicki Minaj and unfollow her because roach, monkey, children. And the word on the street is you got a non-verbal son. That's diabolical.
Yo, can I get that wall? Can I get that must? Can I get those jeans? Can I get that truck? Can I get that Morgan Wallen on a loop? Can I get ice all around the USA? I was like Trump, hey, do you think you could put a red hat on a Barbie? Okay, let's get it now. I'm with the MAGAs, we in a church. I don't say hi, say we Charlie Kirk. We Charlie Kirk, we Charlie Kirk. Motherfucking right, I'm a motherfucking turf. If a new scum get cute, I'ma rip him. Tweet a lot of tweets at him, then yell diss him, then yell diss him, then make every kid detransition. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm really such a sweetie. I rap Republicans, you know Sydney Sweeney, and we be giving donuts to the police on the daily. We give a lot of money to Elon, Donald, and JD, yelling all around the states. Do you hear me? Everybody hates the LGBT. Rest in peace to my old stances. Yes, my dear, I fear the trans kids. Say hi to Ted and Ron DeSantis. Now which one of you men gon' part of my manses?
Please welcome Nicki Minaj.
Fifi by 6ix9ine and Nicki Minaj has been demoted to 5x Platinum after previously being certified 8x Platinum, making the first time this century that such an occurrence has taken place. RIAA has also removed Nicki Minaj's credit from the song, now listing 6ix9ine as the sole credited artist. Oh, so let me get this straight. She spent all those years accusing Cardi B of using sympathy and payola, only for it to later come out and be exposed that she was in fact the one using payola and sympathy and illegal tactics to further boost records. Cardi didn't lie one bit when she said when these hoes start hating and these hoes start lying, cause like, girl, imagine being so bitter and hateful towards somebody else that you'll have to sit there and make up lies, and the whole time you behind closed doors doing the shit that you accused the other lady of doing. Make it make sense.
I'm a puppet, I'm a sheep, I'm a cash cow. I'm the fastest growing bitch on all your apps now. You are tired of me cause I'm on your ass now. You are mad at me cause I am all they slap now. I can nap now. Lots of people that were sleeping say I rap now.
It's actually tragic seeing the extent of... It's been tragic to watch the extent of Nicki Minaj's downfall. I'm sure there will be some kind of documentary or summary, but seeing how many points she has hit that are just so wrong, how many people she's offended, and how she is now just not respected by most people, also including her followers. A lot of fans are now moving away. I've just seen that Ariana Grande has unfollowed her and some other celebrities, Katy Perry's unfollowed her. She's now targeting and making offensive comments about trans people, and I don't know if it's a drug-induced psychosis or just a need for attention, but her album's been flopping for years. I'm also a big Nicki fan. I've seen her live years ago when I was, younger, and I've always listened to her music and her albums, and obviously there's been a kind of reduction in the success of her albums in the charts, and generally she isn't charting well. Her last few albums are flopped, her tours are not doing well. It's been a lot of bad press, and I can imagine it can cause a lot of stress going from such extreme fame and being chart topping and having Super Bass do how many weeks in the charts to them being someone that can't keep up when a lot of her peers are still charting. But I just cannot believe that she's become someone that is partnering with this government that so clearly targets people of colour and is tweeting in support of Trump and saying our president this, and you're kind of seeing a radicalization of her mind and her moving towards this kind of American nationalism that is just so different from who she's a black woman from Queens, New York, who grew up going against the grain and challenging things and encouraging people to go to school and educating themselves. And it's so heartbreaking seeing her just completely destroy her career online, now targeting trans people unnecessarily, disgusting, foul, unacceptable, and making these weird tweets and jokes that don't make sense. And she thinks she's hitting some points and being cool, but she's just missing the mark. And I just don't think she's well. I don't think she has people around her. And her Twitter account just kind of needs to, it kind of feels like the female version of Kanye. This fall off that just doesn't make sense and needs to be stopped. It's really sad. I hope she gets help. And it's hard to support her when she does this stuff.
Oh man, so I never thought I'd see the day. I never thought that I would see the day that a great amount of barbs are pissed off with Nicki. And they still rapping, but they pissed off with Nicki, boy. Some saying they done, others holding it down. We just going crazy. It's all chaos because she has decided to try to, play some political games to get what she want, But while doing that, she's upset in her core. But she's saying things like, "Dear bars, please protect me from that wicked evil man. Love Barbie." But the person she's talking about is Gavin Newsom. And this barb account right here says, "Nicki talking about bars, please protect me. Girl, be for real. Why is she acting victim after provoking that man all day?" So yeah, she been going back and forth with Gavin Newsom starting yesterday, but she's over here playing conspiracy theories at the same damn time. And I think she alluded to Rock Nation and Gavin Newsom conspiring against her. This says they're ready to make a career politician with everything to lose, throw it all away, just like they did to everyone else before him, just to go against me. What's wild is that he can't see.
Erica Kirk today did a surprise interview with Nicki Minaj. You can see there Erica bringing on Nicki Minaj to the stage. But I took notes of the interview and what Minaj said because I think it's actually very instructive of how Republicans treat celebrities and the ultimate grift of both Turning Point and Nicki Minaj. So as you saw there in the photo, Erica brought Nicki Minaj on stage. Minaj starts off by saying that she's honored to be there, and then they immediately start attacking Gavin Newsom. Nicki Minaj calls Gavin Newsom Gavin Newscum, which is Donald Trump's kind of favored name for him, told Gavin Newsom to tread lightly, and then repeatedly called him Gavi Poo. She said, Gavi Poo, be warned, etc. Very bizarre start to that conversation. Nicki Minaj then gets into how much respect and admiration she has for Donald Trump. She said this specifically: "He has given us a chance to beat the bad guys and let the good guys win." Interesting. She went on about how Trump and J.D. Vance are smart, strong, and powerful men, and really was quite lavish in her praise of Trump and Vance throughout this kind of interview that she did with Erica Kirk. But Erica Kirk asked Nicki Minaj, why politics now? Why are you getting involved? I think it actually gives us some really good insight into what Nicki Minaj's motivations are in this. But she asked, why are you involved? Nicki Minaj said, "Well, I'm getting involved in politics because I'm tired of being pushed around, and that it seems like we're not allowed to have an opinion anymore, a different opinion, or speak our minds." Well, you have this massive platform that you're speaking on now, Nicki, so I'm not sure that's entirely true. But it's interesting, she says, "I'm tired of being pushed around." And I genuinely think that this whole thing for Nicki Minaj stemmed from her beef with Megan Thee Stallion. And when Megan had the line about Megan's Law, implying that Nicki Minaj's husband was an abuser. Now, I'm not going to go into all of that. If you're interested in learning more about Nicki Minaj and her family situation, her husband, look that up yourself. But I honestly think that is what cooked Nicki Minaj's brain and sent her down this kind of right-wing rabbit hole. Okay, so that happened. She says, "I can't speak my mind." Okay, she's speaking her mind. But then Erica Kirk asks her about, well, a lot of people in your industry have pushed back against you. Maybe referencing Megan Thee Stallion, certainly the artists that have pushed back against the Trump administration, like Sabrina Carpenter and SZA. And Erica Kirk asks her, what does that mean? Like, is that weird that people are pushing back against you? How does it make you feel? And Nicki Minaj said that she didn't care. And that, quote, "we're the cool kids now." Okay, I'm not entirely sure that's true. I think Nicki Minaj is sorely mistaken in that. Yeah, you are not the cool kids. It's actually incredibly lame. But that's okay. Entitled to that belief. Then there's a conversation about young men and like the role of young men. Nicki Minaj said that it's great that there are such great role models in the president and vice president, and that young men specifically should be looking up to JD Vance, okay? And then the conversation ends talking about Nicki Minaj and her views on Christian persecution, specifically in Nigeria. This is something she's been involved with the Trump administration with. But, really, she's afraid that people in government, at least prior people in government, were anti-Christian and didn't care about the persecution of Christians across the world. So that's the interview, and that's how it wraps up. I find it so fascinating, though, number one, that Republicans for years and years and years have said, well, we don't really care about these celebrities, and like, whatever. It doesn't matter that celebrities are endorsing Democrats en masse. But as soon as a semi-notable celebrity endorses Donald Trump or endorses the Republican Party, it's like, holy shit, we have to get them to Turning Point. We have to put them in front of as many cameras as possible. I find that funny. Nicki Minaj, I think, falls under the category of someone who feels wronged by the left or like the other people in her industry that are aligned with the Democratic Party or the left. And so she feels like she needs to be a MAGA Trump Republican. The problem for her is that it is not helping her case. I think she was completely blown away by Megan Thee Stallion in that beef. I think she has thoroughly embarrassed herself, her fans, and really done a disservice to some of her prior work, which I think was actually pretty good, at least musically. So ultimately, celebrity endorsements still matter. I don't think this is going to move the needle at all for Donald Trump, JD Vance, and Republicans, although it remains to be seen. Will Nicki Minaj write a Charlie Kirk anthem? I don't know. Stay tuned to find out.
Cause I don't need no fraud. I don't need no drama when you call. I don't need no lies. Pick a side, pick a side. I took the prize and lift that bitch up. I took the ice. Let me lift my wrist up. I took the.
I guess Nicki don't like the backlash because she turned her comments off. She's losing hundreds of followers by the minute. People are holding her accountable in her comments, and she doesn't like that. She don't like that at all. Because someone who can sit up here and rant and not think about what they're ranting about, throw a child into the mix and continue and stand on that, ma'am, you're going to face some backlash, even from your own barbs. People are unfollowing her expeditiously. People are actually holding Nicki Minaj accountable, and she doesn't like it. She don't like it. She can't take it. You sitting up here, it's 1:30 in the afternoon on a random Wednesday. Shouldn't you be working on music? Don't you got an album coming out? Shouldn't you be in the studio somewhere? What is you doing? Why are you doing this? And now she's trying to deflect by pulling all of these other people in. All of these other people that are irrelevant. Like, grow up, ma'am. People who are defending Nicki, at this point, you're just trying to save face. At this point, you just don't want to admit that this woman is wrong. And I understand, because you got to stand on business. But this ain't the business to be standing on. This is not the hill that you want to die on. I promise you that.
We all can agree and acknowledge that Nicki Minaj is currently destroying her career. And she's also disappointing her fans, but also her friends. For example, Lady Gaga, Ariana Grande, Katy Perry, and Zach Campbell all unfollowed Nicki Minaj on Instagram. Ariana and Nicki have made several collabs with each other back in the past. And Zach Campbell is a die-hard Nicki fan, always defending her. So for him to unfollow Nicki Minaj shows how serious it is. Sabrina Carpenter also unfollowed Nicki Minaj. It sounds like we're not getting that collab anymore. Right now, Nicki Minaj is feuding with California's governor, Gavin Newsom. Nicki put out a tweet basically making fun of trans kids. And Vivian Wilson responded to that. She said, and this is why Megan won and Pink Friday 2 flopped. My jaw is on the floor. Tyler reposts a tweet on X urging Nicki Minaj to retire from music and calling her mentality unstable. And y'all, that tweet has over 715,000 views and 13,000 likes within the last day. It probably has more by now. But this has been a huge topic within the last day.
People think it's best that Nicki Minaj retires from music and never shows her face in the public again. And JD Vance has just sided with Nicki Minaj on the ongoing feud between her and Cardi. He's expressing so much praise and love towards her, and Nicki is just loving the attention. We are currently seeing the downfall of Nicki's career. The possibility of her coming back from this, I'm not sure. And honestly, I think it's better for her to not show her face in the media for quite some time. And this is not out of hate, it's out of concern.
Man, okay, listen, I didn't want to have to make this video, but here we are. This is the reality we're living in, apparently. So, for those who don't know, Nicki Minaj has been going very down the Trump line on Twitter. She was just today at America Fest. I don't know what that is, but apparently it's with one of those organizations. She was with Charlie Kirk's evil wife. But I want to make some clarifications because on my page, I've been posting since September a Nicki verse every single day because she said her new album is going to be dropping in March 27th, 2026. And I want to set the record straight with my content, who I am, and what I'll be continuing to post. So I absolutely stand against everything that Donald Trump and their regime stands for. That's not who I am. I've never supported it. I will continue to not support it and work against it. On the same side of that coin, two things can be true at once. Nicki Minaj is the greatest female rapper to ever live, and until somebody steps their game up to beat her, I will be listening to her music. Have I ever looked to Nicki Minaj for political advice? No. Will I start doing that now? No. But I just want to put this out there and have that nuance with focusing on the music. I want Nicki Minaj to start focusing on the music because the album's coming. There hasn't been a lead single. We don't have a cover art. I want the focus to be on the music, and that's what I'm trying to do with my page, is bring the focus back to the music. Nicki Minaj has seen some of my videos. Hopefully she can get that message with all the barbs clamoring for, we want the music. Let's stop doing this. I don't know what her reasoning is for doing this. Also, I don't claim to. I'm not even going to guess because it's probably going to be wrong. So, yeah, just wanted to set the record straight. I do not like Donald Trump. I am not politically aligned with the Republican Party at all. If you know me, you know that. If you've seen my page, you've seen the content that I posted, you would know that as well. But with all of that in mind, I will still be posting a Nicki verse every single day until the album drops because I'm very excited for the album. Nicki Minaj makes the best female rap music out there. Point blank, period. There's going to be a lot of other fan bases that are using this as a drag, like, oh, you know, come over to the Cardi fan base, come over to the Megan fan base. And I'm like, no, just because Nicki's doing something that I don't like does not mean that I will then turn around and go support people that I don't want to listen to. And also, like, they've done a lot of bad stuff too, so let's not forget that. But yeah, this is not a video I wanted to have to make, but one I am making because I want to set the record straight on everything. As a Nicki fan till the day that I die, I was just at Gag City World Tour last year, saw her for the first time. It was the best experience ever. I love her music from mixtape to now, and for what's next. So I just wanted to make that clarification because I've gotten some comments saying, oh, you support MAGA, oh, you support this, that, and the other thing. And no, I don't. I support someone for their music. They're choosing to put out political messaging that I don't agree with. I don't listen to Nicki Minaj for political beliefs, like I said earlier. She's not going to sway my vote. So keep that in mind with your interactions with the world and how you go about your business. Bye.
Nicki Minaj is a hypocrite.
People are being kidnapped, people are being killed, brutalized, while they're in church, all because of their religion. And that should spark outrage in the great America. We are not going to be silenced by the bullies anymore, okay? Hear that. Receive that, bullies. We will speak up for Christians wherever they are in this world.
Today, Nicki Minaj put up on that whole Turning Point USA thing with Erica Kirk, and she's just regurgitating whatever Massa wants her to say. She had a lot of All Lives Matter rhetoric and many opinions with no basis behind it. It felt very Kanye. It's just hypocritical to talk about people being taken and kidnapped while that's literally being encouraged by the people you're shucking and jiving for. Nicki Minaj said that she'll speak up for Christians no matter where they are in this world, but what about these Christians?
Authorities targeted places of faith, and the immigrant church community is still feeling the aftershocks.
We heard the news about ICE, but we say this is a safety place, and we're not doing nothing. We are not criminals.
Faith leaders say ICE agents displayed aggressive tactics, frightening their congregations. Many immigrant churches stopped holding services for weeks, as some 30,000 children also reportedly stayed home from school. Pastor Victor Ramirez says ICE agents moved in unexpectedly, causing some members to head into the woods while others hid inside for safety. Terrified children watched and others held on to them as ICE agents detained an El Salvadorian church member. They deported him 10 days later, leaving behind his wife and adult children.
I understand the ICE has to find criminals. I understand that and I agree with that, but it's not a criminal.
This is a church.
It's a church.
I feel like this topic is extremely relevant when it comes to Nicki Minaj because isn't Nicki Minaj an immigrant? She's not a U.S. citizen. You could look this up. Matter of fact, let me do it for you. Quick Google search I wrote, is Nicki Minaj a U.S. citizen? And AI overview says, no, Nicki Minaj is not a U.S. citizen. She's a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago and moved to New York City as a child, remaining a non-citizen despite living and paying substantial taxes in U.S. for decades and has spoken publicly about her immigration status and experiences. Current status, it says she has stated she is not a U.S. citizen even after years of living in the country and paying millions in taxes and has expressed a desire for citizenship or honorary citizenship. Why do I feel like she's playing the game to finally get citizenship? One thing I can say about Nicki Minaj is that she sold so many records that it shouldn't be surprising that she sold out.
But I love Saudi Arabia. I love the energy they bring, the culture. But if the women's rights movement feels like it's the right time for me to perform out there, then I don't have a problem performing out there. It wasn't about being there. It's just that I couldn't stand to perform somewhere knowing that some of my gay fans may be arrested. And, you know, I don't even know what that entails in that country. So I didn't want to be responsible for people being hurt. So I think it was a good thing to not go for now.
I agree.
And you have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that,
trust me, there's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard, so you're fine. Yes, we did. I love you. I love you. You have to laugh about it, truly. I have been called every single thing, and you know what? God is so good, you let it roll right off your back.
Nicki Minaj is MAGA. Nicki's Christian.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you why I think she's doing that. I don't know her, never talked to her a day in my life. I'm only going by observations. And I will say this, I am extremely disheartened and disappointed by it. I am, I gotta be honest. I wouldn't have gone about things that way. Nicki Minaj really doesn't care anymore. She's cared her whole life. She's been passionate about her music. She's been putting out some of her best work. She has had top of the chop hits for years. But even though she's got some awards, VH1, MTV, she never won the top #1 award. A lot of artists really, really long to win in the industry, and we all know what that is. It's a Grammy. Because Nicki Minaj is hard to control. Can't be controlled like a lot of these other artists and a lot of these other rap girlies can. They blacklisted her and told her she'll never get a Grammy. So imagine watching all your hard work, some of your best songs, be put out and you never have the opportunity to get what you know you so rightfully deserve. And they're giving it to other people. Artists who sound like you, artists who copied your style, people who haven't even been in the industry nearly as long as you. It made her probably get discouraged back in her own lane, and she's recreating her own lane. Ain't no rap girl is gonna try to copy what Nicki Minaj is on right now. I guarantee you that. She knows that. She knows the risk that she's taken. And while she's lost a lot of supporters, she's gained a lot of supporters. And it may be under an administration that's not favorable for many, but she don't care. Why should she care? She's cared for so many years, and the industry completely slapped her in the face, disrespected her, downplayed her talent, treated her like she never put out a hit song ever. It could be disheartening. So I think she's just trying to recreate her own lane. She's definitely back in her own lane. I don't think nobody gonna copy that lane. So good luck with that. It's unfortunate, but that's what she's doing. Just my overall analysis, she really don't care no more.
You know what's interesting about Nicki getting on that stage with Erica Trump? That she's ignoring the fan discourse for the first time in forever. Like, that girl is usually tapped in with her fans, and she's usually listening to the Barbs. And the Barbs have said, we do not like your position. We do not like what you're doing. All your Barbs are usually a part of the LGBTQ family, and you're doing things with these people who are anti. It begs the question, has she always been like this? Like, the whole entire time. I've seen her love her Barbs down in videos and concerts forever, for a millennia. And now we are switching tunes. Like, I had a friend tell me that she's just doing this for a pardon for her man. And if that's the case, like, wrap it up and get it out my face right now. Like, wrap it the fuck up immediately, because I'm not even trying to hear nothing about it. I don't want to see her no more. I don't want to hear about her no more. I'm cool on her. Dead ass.
I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president. This administration is full of people with heart and soul. Oh, Gavi Poo, it only gets worse from here for you, buddy. It's the end of the road for you, my love.
Going downtown Barbie, pushing a pink Ferrari. I race through Africa just to see the safari. I am the baddest in America, thicker than a Jericho. Just as Erica, the black Sarah Jessica. Jessica, don't be text messaging me. I never check my messages. Only thing you can ask me is how I want my sandwiches. I want more cheese, lots and lots of cheese. And when I'm on the stage,
The reason why that also holds true sentiment-wise is because I know that you are getting a lot of backlash from your own industry. What is your reaction to that?
I didn't notice.
Amen. I feel the same way. When people are like, what do you think about them? I'm like, I don't think about them.
Bingo.